already. I am here once again I know it's been too long. It's been forever since I've posted a video, and it's March already, and I already said 2020 was going to be the year that I post more videos and put more content out there and start teaching more and doing more readings. So here I am. Better late than never. I am Sun in Pisces and also Mars in Pisces, and so I tend to be a little slow. Be a little slow and behind on things, just taking my time, but it has served me well. We know we all have our own pace, and one thing that I have learned on this journey is that things happen in divine timing. So there's no judgment to those of you who are late bloomers and who are just making your way wherever you are on your path. If you're watching this video, I am so grateful that you're here, and I'm so glad to bring this message to you and also help to bring healing and clarity to this journey. Now, I also have one disclaimer is I realize like the sound quality on my video is not going to be that great. I think that the speaker or like the microphone on my phone I think is damaged and I'm making this on my phone. So I apologize. I'm going to be troubleshooting that moving forward, but I just wanted to get this message out, so hopefully you can get the message regardless of the fuzzy noise in the video. I apologize. So we're gonna get right into it. This is a energy report for the Mercury Retrograde, which we are in the thick of it, and this is for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and just looking at how these energies are, whether it's within you both, we all have divine feminine, divine masculine, yin yang energies within us, or it's you and a counterpart, twin flame, soulmate, divine partner. So going right into it, the theme of the reading is the Five of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. So what I see with this is this kind of like what's affecting both the divine feminine and divine masculine energy is this sense of you and I against the world, a sense of isolation, a sense of an impasse, also kind of not really knowing the way forward, needing to make a decision. Are we going to sit in this lack? Are we going to sit in this, you know, if it's a health issue, if it's a financial issue, are we going to sit in this, or are we going to move forward? So there's an impasse here, probably affected by the moon, the new moon that we just had, moving into the full moon. I believe it's on the 6th, but I'm not quite sure. I have to look at that, look at my moon calendar. But yeah, so we see both of these characters in this are trying to make a decision, you know, which, although they are working together and their energies are together, it's like each one of them is kind of going over like, do I stay, do I go, do I get past this block of this Five of Pentacles, or do I move forward? Okay. Where the divine feminine is the King of Swords in reverse. So she may be just kind of taking a stand with, and also like a step back and reflecting on like communication issues, how to clear communication issues, how to communicate with herself and her own masculine energy. Or she could feel blocked. She could actually be blocked or have blocked someone. So yeah, so there's some big stuff happening with the divine feminine as far as like moving forward and communicating. For Divine Masculine, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yesterday, the Ace of Pentacles, I did a reading, and I did a video for that reading too, but it just didn't, the quality just didn't come out very well. And so, anyways, that's besides the point. But the Ace of Pentacles was a theme for both energies. So that Divine Masculine is taking this new step. He is manifesting something new in his life. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a new home. It's being gifted with some time also. Some time to himself, time to reflect. But this is a blessing coming to the Divine Masculine, which is always positive. How the Divine Feminine sees herself is the Three of Wands in reverse. So again, with this King of Swords in reverse, it's like she kind of has an unclear view of what. It's like she's trying to get a clear view and clear perspective. But that might not be the right way to go about things. You may have to feel more into your soul. Like there is, in this reading, I haven't clarified yet, but as far as it goes right now, it's like there's not much feeling in this reading. There's only one card with cups. The High Priestess is reversed, moving forward. So she may be trying to figure out logically like what's going on as far as this decision and how to move out of this lack and how to move past this block, but not really seeing the way forward, not really, honestly, not really like being very hopeful for the future too. The Divine Masculine sees the Divine Feminine with the Eight of Wands in reverse. It's like this could be either moving forward in the wrong direction or communicating the wrong things or not communicating. You know, so this is how the Divine Feminine feels about herself. This is how the Divine Masculine sees, or his energy towards the Divine Feminine is like not wanting to move forward, not wanting to communicate. So there's definitely a communication block here between the perception of the Divine Masculine and the perception of the Divine Feminine in herself. So the perception of the Divine Feminine towards the Divine Masculine is the Nine of Wands. Feeling tired, feeling that fatigue of having to stand on her own, feeling very isolated, but willing to hold on until the bitter end in a way, which may be why she's feeling like, if you feel like you can't let go of a situation that you know is like this and not positive and not like, not really getting you anywhere, it's like you're just staying because you don't want to leave this person alone in the cold, you can end up feeling like that for sure. And that's how she's feeling toward the Divine Masculine, or how she sees the Divine Masculine as well, is like you see him holding on to something, holding on to past hurts, you know, and how the Divine Masculine sees himself as the High Priestess in reverse. So he's becoming aware of things, but it's still clouded with the High Priestess in reverse. It's still like confused, like although there's this blessing coming through, this financial blessing or this work blessing, he's still very confused about which way to go, about, and honestly, it's just more confusion because more moving forward, we have the Seven of Cups in the Divine Masculine and then the Ace of Swords in reverse for the Divine Feminine. So, so that right there is like a whole shitload of just like not really being able to make the decision, not being able to speak the truth, not like everything is just shut down. So that's the initial like pull, and I'm going to clarify, and also we're going to try to clear these energies so the divine masculine and divine feminine can make a decision, can move forward, can get out of that Five of Pentacles, can get out of this impasse and allow their energies to flow to benefit the both of them. Okay? So to clarify the Five of Pentacles, okay, so I'm going to take two cards popped out, so I'm going to take one for the Five of Pentacles on top, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So they are walking towards change. They are walking towards their destiny together. They are, you know, walking towards this Wheel of Fortune, and it has something to do with that, the Ace of Pentacles. Like, if the divine masculine is blessed, the divine feminine is blessed as well. Like, we share blessings, we share experiences, even if it's just at a subconscious level, because we are so connected. Okay, so we're going towards a major change, going towards destiny. There's, again, like the Wheel of Fortune is talking about that arc of the heavenly bodies, including Mercury Retrograde. So we're walking along this path towards our destiny. So that's always positive to see, you know, things moving and shifting and changing out of this. So already we're able to shift the energy through this reading. Bottom line, look at these two blindfolded. I would say that, because these are the cards at the bottom of, like, the bottom of a spread, which represents the subconscious, and two and an eight, the Eight of Swords creates a 10. It's like, it's time to start listening to your intuition and into your soul and into your gut. Taking off the blindfolds, coming out of this mental confusion. That's the decision that both have to make, is to stay true to what they feel, to stay true to what their soul is guiding them towards. Okay? Because in this, it's your faith is guiding you towards this change. Okay? Those people are living on faith alone, faith in others, hoping to get help from others. And these two blindfolded, you know, folks that are pretty isolated, pretty much, you know, like in fear. Like, I see this one in complete fear of the unknown. We have to choose to let go of the fear of the unknown. We have to, it's not even about like taking a leap of faith. It's about practicing mindfulness and connecting with the intuition, and taking out the blindfold, taking off the self delusion. You know, the self deception. Okay, for both parties. So to clear and clarify the King of Swords in reverse for the Divine Feminine. Three of Cups in reverse. So this is kind of like being in the dark, about like a third party situation. Also, like, I would say this is about like mental fatigue, about wondering about a third party situation, also mental fatigue from lack of enjoyment, lack of fulfillment. You know, these folks aren't having fun, they're not partying, they're really struggling. So it's time for the Divine Feminine to really embrace enjoyment. And like I said, there's an undertone for the Divine Feminine in this Mercury retrograde, which makes sense because it's in Pisces, is about releasing the martyr. And this is definitely about this. It's like I've had to stand strong. I've had to hold the masculine position with the King of Swords, and I've not been able to have any fun. And like taking a false sense of pride from, well, I haven't allowed myself any fun because I'm so dedicated to this spiritual path. Well, that's a false sense of pride. That's a false sense of putting yourself on a pedestal, putting yourself on this throne, and not enjoying it one bit. Not enjoying it one bit. So it may be time for the divine feminine to just go out and have some fun and just do what it is. I'm not saying you necessarily have to go to the club or go party or anything like that, but just do something that you enjoy, that's fun. Watch something funny. Hang out with friends that make you laugh, and let go of some of this like real, like, I feel like this like real like just stuffy energy of like being very like, that King of Swords in reverse is like very like, I don't know, like stuffy and stuck up and like, you know, like dry and not fun at all. You know, like whatever the shadow is, you know, the shadows of Aquarius, and just like, you know, like being such a stickler for what's right and what's true, and like what's this and what's that, and the rules, and like, you know, that you forget what the spice of life is about, like what is the juiciness of life, like what makes life worth living, and it's the things that we enjoy. It's, you know, the human spirit, like joy, passion, creativity, laughter, happiness that sustains us and that perseveres through, you know, times like this. You know, I don't know about you, but I've been in some pretty dire straits in the past, and like the things that have gotten me through it are like the enjoyment, and also having a sense of humor about the things, and like stepping back and being able to laugh at yourself. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying with the divine feminine, is like needing to step back, needing to connect with others, and other like-minded people, other people who have feminine, like help another feminine, just to see, you know, like the sense of humor in a situation. If you know other divine feminines who, you know, are kind of needing to step out of this like seriousness, you know. Okay, anyways. That was a big message. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. What is this Ace of Pentacles? What is this new beginning for the divine masculine? One card, please. One card. New beginning for the divine masculine. Temperance. So this is healing. This is healing. This is a blending of opposites. This is, you know, an angelic presence in their life. This is literally the divine, like, handing them, like, here is your next step in this step-by-step process. This being the next step. Like, they're getting help from the divine. So we as divine feminines, I think, because that feminine vibration is more nurturing and giving, is like we can tend to like overgive and overfunction in our relationships, and we can like really want to step in and help the divine masculine on their path, but we can step back because first of all, we have to focus on ourselves. We are in this energy. We have to help ourselves, right? So the divine is helping the divine masculine, so we can let go and let spirit take over that, and be rest assured that they are going to be okay, that they're taking a next step on their path. And so that's really, really beautiful energy coming in that divine masculine, where they are right now, present moment. So how the divine feminine sees herself is that Three of Wands reversed, clarifying with strength. So even though she necessarily like can't really see what's happening, what's going to come in the future, she's, you know, relying on her strength at this point, and having needed to be very strong. So, but that can also to me kind of like, do you see yourself as strong because you're martyring yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this and I've had to go without in order to help my divine masculine, in order to stay on this path and, you know, to do A, B, and C, like in this vibration? Is it creating this false sense of pride with the lion? This false sense of pride, this false sense of feeling like, you know, you're better than, or you're more worthy of, you know, you're worthy regardless if you're strong or not, regardless if you can see what's coming down the pike or not. You are worthy of everything that the divine has in store for you. You know, you're worthy of being able to enjoy yourself. You're worthy of whatever this change is that's coming, this wheel of fortune, the flipping, the 180-degree turn from that Five of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, so don't carry a chip on your shoulder with a false sense of pride just because you're feeling lost and you're feeling like this. Not being able to see what solutions, what, you know, choices you have. I don't know if the Justice card has a blindfold, because like Justice is blind, but like just those two like blindfolded cards are just like weirding me out for real. Like nobody's listening to their intuition. Luckily, Divine Masculine has grace and the spirit of the divine and like angels all around helping them. Okay. And we always have help. I'm not saying that the Divine Feminine doesn't have help, but with the King of Swords is like the Divine Feminine is more conscious of this path and is trying to look out to the future, is trying to use her gifts of foresight with that King of Swords as well. But it's not about that at this point. It's not about knowing what's going to happen in the future. It's about enjoying what is happening right now. And the Divine Feminine is just having a hard time enjoying the process. So, how the Divine Masculine is approaching the Divine Feminine, or how he sees the Divine Feminine, is the Eight of Wands with the Page of Wands. So he really does see her like as the Page of Wands for me is like wanting to heal, wanting to send a healing message, like wanting to spark that, you know, that passion. And it's like there's some kind of block to that spark of the passion. There's some type of communication breakdown. There's messages being sent, but it's not necessarily what's going to get through. So that's how the Divine Masculine is seeing Divine Feminine, is like maybe he sees like her efforts as or their efforts. It's not necessarily about gender. Maybe the divine masculine sees the divine feminine as wanting to heal, but then like wanting to go backwards, because I see this like bike riding in the opposite direction, you know, and or wanting to escalate things, you know, in the wrong direction, wanting to go in the wrong direction, you know. So he may be having some judgments towards the divine feminine. But if the divine feminine is just like taking this martyr position, or maybe it's like the blind leading the blind, you know, and he's like, I can't go in this direction with you because I have this new path to healing, and he's going to take that path to healing, and so, you know, this new beginning is just not going to be, it just feels more of the same. It feels more of like going backwards for them. Okay, so how the divine feminine sees the divine masculine is the Nine of Wands. Oops. And clarifying that Nine of Wands is the Seven of Pentacles. So although the divine feminine recognizes that there's a struggle and that there is these blocks and like hanging in there through thick and thin, she does recognize that there is growth and there's progress. She's stepping back. In both of these cards, she's stepping back and observing, and she's saying, okay, well, like, we have been on this rocky road. But there has been growth and progress. Okay, so that's positive. And the Seven of Pentacles is moving forward out of that Five of Pentacles too. So that's cool. So she does see some growth. Okay. Clarifying how the divine masculine sees himself as this high priestess is like getting this awareness of like, or feeling that disconnection, like it's like so with the high priestess, the unconscious. So with her in reverse, it's like a disconnect from the unconscious, like not being aware of the unconscious, or becoming aware that you haven't been listening to your intuition because you have been fighting. It's like you've been listening more to like your instinct in fight or flight, maybe not even necessarily being able to have a chance to be on your own in order to think things through, in order to make a decision, right? So feeling very guarded as well, and wanting to guard the hidden things. Maybe you feel like, you know, your divine feminine knows too much about your situation, about like the issues you're dealing with, your wounds and stuff like that, and it's like it's been a struggle, it's been a battle. It's these hidden things, it's this intuition cropping up, and you're trying to suppress it. So that's where the divine masculine is in this energy, is with the suppression of the intuition. And where the divine feminine is in that energy is not allowing herself to have enjoyment in taking that martyrdom, that martyr archetype. Okay, so moving forward, we had the Ace of Swords in reverse for the divine feminine, and we're going to clarify that. Okay, this is interesting. So we have the Knight of Swords clarifying this. And I almost see this as like, she is, the Divine Feminine is, excuse me, the Divine Feminine is ready to put that sword down. She is ready to communicate, but not in a harsh way, to communicate in a way that is, or wanting to, you know, make a display of putting that sword away. Because I see this hand and then this hand, you know, it's like putting that sword down. Or staking her claim too. Like when I go like this, it's like you're staking the sword down, like this is my spot. And the swords are also about power and communication, and it's kind of like, hey, look, like I know my truth, and she's ready to express that. So even though this is reversed, you know, the aces are also very, they're very auspicious and positive, whether they're reversed or not. So, but flipping it over, it's like they're facing each other. Like she's ready and gearing up for a battle. So reversed, it's like she's bringing this sword pointed down, like, I don't want to fight. I have my sword put away. I am coming with messages, but they're not going to be these brutal messages. So I don't know if there has been some kind of communication breakdown or words, you know, strong words. If you are communicating with your counterpart, if there is strong words, you know, exchanged with this Mercury retrograde. I know for mine, that's kind of what went down, so this is kind of personal. But overall, I think it's like slowly but surely the energies are shifting, and they are both breaking out of this combative, you know, this combative energies, because we have these two, you know, like combative energies. Or maybe she's coming in and being like, I can help with whatever it is that you're struggling with, you know. It's almost like the Divine Masculine is not really wanting to see that the fight is within, because he's so focused on outside influences. So if that's the case, I would say allow your masculine to just give them space to figure out that it's not something that's external to them that's causing them to be on this defensive. It's something that's internal. Anyways, to moving forward for the Divine Masculine with the Seven of Cups and that confusion, not understanding which one cup to choose, almost not making a decision because there's too many choices, you know, or just deciding to not decide, just deciding to sit in this energy because the decision is too confusing. Well, to clarify that, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So whatever the choice that is made, it is something that is going to be fruitful. We have that Ace of Pentacles moving to the Nine of Pentacles. So there is going to be something fruitful. This is going to be a choice that he is making to choose what is fruitful. Like what is going to be the most practical in the 3D. Like what is going to bring the most abundance. in that abundant garden. You know? And the Divine Feminine is looking at her garden too. And she's like, hey, we've been through a lot, but there has been a lot of growth. You know? All right, so I'm going to get a message overall from the Divine Masculine and a message overall from the Divine Feminine, and then a message overall from Spirit. Oh my gosh. Way too much. My deck just opened up. Okay. Okay. Message from Spirit. Okay. Okay. Message from the Divine Masculine is the Devil. So I guess the Divine Masculine's overall message is about what the Devil represents is this is the Lovers. And although they're chained, they can choose to unchain themselves. And that's the same message for the Eight of Swords. It's like, this is a binding of your own making. It's a self-delusion. So what the Divine Masculine is coming to understand is that these situations that he finds himself in, especially concerning the Divine Feminine, he's starting to understand that it is something he can unchain himself from. It's not something that is outside of his control. It's also talking about, you know, addictions, toxicity, karma, karmic relationships. The Devil is Saturn, you know, so there may be some of that at play with him, and that is influencing his decisions. You know, because when we have addiction, the addiction pretty much makes the decision for us. In any decision, it could be big or small. You know, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The message from the Divine Feminine is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands represents the Divine Masculine, you know, and it's like he's looking at this Devil. And Divine Feminine is saying, hey, look, like, I know that you have this going on, but this is who you are. You are the Divine Masculine at your core. You are this king. You have this crown. You know, these chains and the horns and bowing down to this power you feel is greater than you is part of this illusion. It's part of this illusion. Because this is truly, truly who you are. So, you know, the Divine Masculine is in a state of grace. And when we are in this deep, dark place, grace is the only thing that can connect to us. So if you feel like you as a Divine Feminine feel like you cannot reach your Divine Masculine, it is because of this Devil. But don't worry, because he is in a state of grace and receiving blessings from the Divine regardless. And the Spirit's message is Knight of Pentacles, is talking about this is all for your highest good. This is going to amount to something that you have made a good investment, that you are coming into this change. There are going to be fruitful changes, financial changes, changes with work, with your home, and things like that. You know, this overall, this message is really mostly about communication. It's about deep core wounds, and coming out from these self-delusions and like roles that we're playing that are more connected to this state of lack rather than this who we truly are, which is divine and abundant, divine and abundant and humble and beautiful and like connected to the earth. This Nine of Pentacles, I feel, is very connected to like the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress, so so with that Wheel of Fortune up here, up top, I do feel like this Mercury retrograde is going to, once it runs its course, it is going to bring that 180 flip. So whatever is going on right now today, don't worry, it's going to flip. This is for your highest good. This is, it is for a purpose. And the purpose is more practical. It's more about physical health, physical healing, time, money. I see pentacles, I see wands, and swords. There's just one cup card, and so, no, there's two cup cards, so the antidote to this is really trusting your intuition and enjoying yourself and allowing yourself to have fun, allowing yourself to laugh, and not being so serious and staunch. And like a lot of times we think like that seriousness and like the dry, rules, like it's got to be this way, is the antidote to this, but it's really not. It's joy, fulfillment, love, passion, creativity, and that's the real antidote to those like karmic ties and the toxicity. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that you felt the shift within the reading, and I hope to offer you a reading very soon. Again, thank you for being here. Again, I apologize for any like noise, like muffliness or fuzziness in the audio. I'm going to try to remedy that as soon as I can. But until next time, have a beautiful afternoon, and I will see you all when I see you. Bye.